Hello, everyone. Welcome to
Hi
10 Minutes
everyone.
Astrology. Hello, Alejo. How are you?
Hi, I'm sorry I was speaking over your introduction. Welcome
That's
to
all
10
right.
Minutes Astrology.
Next time, I should let you do introduction too.
Okay. Yes.
We reverse.
For the retrograde, it makes sense because next
ah,
episode we're gonna be talking about retrogrades.
I
Yes.
you really couldn't wait to tell it. Okay,
I
yes,
couldn't
yes.
wait.
You couldn't wait. Okay. So next time we're going to talk about retrograde, but today we're going to talk about uh, planetary in their debility side, which
Yes.
is, I mean, it's interesting to talk about it because for when I was learning astrology, we don't really focus on it, to be honest, especially in the modern psychological astrology.
It's
And
true.
I was talked to a few of my fellow colleagues when we were studying, and I mentioned about debility, and they just like, we never take it seriously. Just, I think it's fair enough because we are trying to build up like every planet in each sign, they will have their function. They will work it out in their way. So that explains why some psychological astrologer don't really pay a lot of attention in so-called debility, especially when you heard about name, you just think, oh, that is a weakness of me.
Yeah, it sounds awful. But I would say a planet in a debility in debility, what it means is that it has to work. It has to do extra work to achieve its
Mm-hmm.
aim.
Mm.
That's why it's
Yeah,
considered debilitated. Like it has less resources to do what he wants to do.
yeah. I remember when I was studying in the School of Traditional Astrology with Deborah Holding about the partitional horary label, and she explains say the like a detriment. The Latin meaning of detriment is broken.
Mm.
So it's a it's a out of work is broken. So it doesn't it doesn't work. So the things like a things like a short circuit or something. So it not respond in a normal way, or it's too old to
Yeah.
respond. So like if you have a computer like maybe 10 years ago or something, and it just responds slowly. So use that image to see a debility or detriment planet. It's more like, oh, okay, I know how they work, but in the astrology there's a two type of debility. We Because for beginner, we probably don't go to too detail because
Yeah.
that will confuse a lot. One is called fall and one is called detriment. Could you introduce us to the detriment sign?
Okay, so basically the idea is, remember on the last episode we were seeing the dignities, right? So a planet
Yeah,
in some signs rules the sign.
yeah.
When the planet is in the sign that it's opposing to the sign that it rules, it's considered to be exiled or in a debilitated position. So for
Mm.
instance, we said the sun rules Leo. So when the sun is in the opposing sign, which is Aquarius, it's
Mm-hmm.
considered to be debilitated. The
Mm-hmm.
moon rules Cancer. So when the
Mm.
moon is in the opposite sign, which is Capricorn, it's
Mm-hmm.
considered to be debilitated.
Mm-hmm.
Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So when it's
Mm-hmm.
in the opposing signs of that, it's considered to be debilitated. So
Mm-hmm.
Mercury in Sagittarius and in Pisces is
Mm.
considered to be debilitated. Mars rules Aries and Scorpio. So when it's in the opposing signs, which are Libra and Taurus, it's considered to be somewhat debilitated. Then, yes?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
I'm just giving us example. Then I jumped over Venus, right? Venus rules
Yeah.
Taurus and Libra. So when she's in the opposing signs, which means Scorpio and Aries, then she's considered to be debilitated. And then Jupiter rules Sagittarius and Pisces. So when it's in opposing signs, which means Gemini and Virgo, it's considered to be debilitated. And then we have Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So when it's in the opposing signs, which are Cancer and Leo, it's considered debilitated. So this means that yeah, for a moment I got lost in the labyrinth. This means that these planets here in these signs, they feel like they need to do some extra work to achieve
Mm.
what they want. So maybe you will see that they develop skills like they develop particular skills. They are kind of more sophisticated in their
Mm.
expression.
Yeah. It is very interesting to talk about. Especially, I was laughing because it sounds like you are rapping something, and I was like, and usually it's like me. I would do the same. I try to remember. I was like, oh my god, you get a brain fog.
For a moment, I got a brain fog. When I got to Mars in Taurus, I was like, Mars in Taurus, what? I was like
Yes,
that.
yeah, but I don't, because it's a very long way to describe this. So it's like, okay, let me take apart another part. I will have the same reaction like you. So this another type of a debility we call it fall. And the way you learn it is just like Alejo introduced how to find the planet in their detriment sign. So exactly, we last time we introduced the exaltation sign. So Sun exaltated in the Aries. So when Sun go to the Libra, that is four. That's the four. Moon exalt in Taurus. So when Moon go to opposite side in the Scorpio, is four. Well, Mercury in the traditional way is not only ruling Virgo, but also exalted in Virgo. So when the Mercury go to the Pisces, would be the four, the sign Mercury four. Venus is exalted in the, instead it's in Pisces. So when the Mercury go to the Virgo, it's the four. And Mars is in the Capricorn. So when the Mars go to the Cancer, Mars will fall there. And then the Jupiter would be Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. Interesting, right? And then
Yes.
when Jupiter go to the Capricorn, I'm getting started confused now. When Jupiter go to Capricorn, that's the fourth. Saturn in Libra. When the Saturn go to the Aries, that's the fourth. I know, even you know how to find it, but because you keep repeating, you're like, where am I now? Am I
Yeah,
saying
exactly.
things right?
Yeah. But I would say if when people are interested in doing this, you can follow what we said and just write it in a piece of paper and then have it there
Yeah,
handy and you can look at it. And
yeah.
after looking at it for a while, you just learn it off by heart. Yes.
Definitely, yeah. But one thing I want to share with everyone is a little trick. Like Alejo mentioned about it, because you say they are like exile, they're like exile. But this is exact meaning when you see a planet in the opposition side of their own ruling side or their own exaltation side in the ancient way. Because the ancient astrologer, they are mundane astrologer. They only serve king and queen. They are not care about when king is going to fall in love. They don't. They only care about when the kingdom is going up, when the kingdom is going down, when the king is going to be exiled or being, taken away from its castle. So they really look whole chart like a castle or something. When you are in your side, you are in your castle, you are the king. But when you go to the opposite side, you are, exiled, or you being, you become, what do we say? What I forget the word. You are in the enemy's country.
Exactly.
So yeah,
No, I like this idea. So when the planet is
yeah,
debilitated, it's considered like a foreigner person
yes.
in an alien land.
Yes.
And
So we doing so you don't have a help. You probably need to work extra harder to get
exactly to
a
achieve this.
normal state. That's why I think I like your idea. So maybe let's introduce a case. How about that?
Yeah, sure. Let's introduce a case. And we were talking with Rod, and I really like the case we chose. We chose the
Dalai Lama? No?
was it not hard? Ah, yeah, Dalai Lama. Yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we chose
yeah,
Dalai Lama. I got confused with another one.
yeah.
So here's the chart of Dalai Lama,
Yeah.
and as you can see, he has Mars in Libra.
Mm,
So this means that Mars, which is the principle of action,
mm-hmm,
aggressiveness, competitiveness,
mm-hmm,
and assertion, perhaps, and what
mm.
gets you moving, what sets you into action,
Yeah.
is colored the by the sign of Libra, which is
Mm-hmm.
about justice, fairness, paying attention to others, accommodating other people's needs, making, this idea of Libra being a cardinal sign, starting to make a social connection with others. And for that, you need to see what they need, what they're looking for, you need to be civilized and you need to be
Yeah.
focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite interesting because you would see that this person, to achieve its aims, which is Mars, what Mars wants to do, they do it in a very sophisticated way. They do it
Mm-hmm.
in a peaceful way, in a careful
Mm-hmm.
way, in an attentive way, because it's in Libra. So when you
Yep.
think of Mars, usually you would think of a warrior, right? And when you think of
Mm-hmm.
a warrior, you think of somebody with a sword, or maybe if you're more modern, that if your imagination is more modern than mine, somebody with a gun or with a war tank or something like
Mm.
that.
Yeah.
But you think of something about aggression and something like an energy that's going to come and destroy everything. And in this case, the warrior that the Dalai Lama is a warrior that is dressed on a Libra attire, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why Mars is considered to be in a difficult position here, because the way to do things, the way to achieve things, is not so aggressive and so
Mm.
violent and so direct, perhaps, and so brute, I would say. I think there's something about planets in relationships that are primal. It's not
Yeah.
so brute. It's more, yeah, cautious, sophisticated, rational. So it's a different kind of warrior. It's a warrior that fights with ideas and with fairness, right?
Exactly, exactly. And this is very interesting. In our modern society, we consider this is the best thing to express your
I also
aggression.
think it's very interesting,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. But yes, this is his detriment Mars, and well, when in the ancient Chinese, will consider Earth the a defect or a kind of weakness for this person. But well, when we try to read in the psychological astrology or modern astrology way, we still will encourage this person to fulfill his Mars energy and to fulfill his Mars archetype, like Alejo saying, well, if you want to fight, fight for justice. If you want to fight for yourself, speak it out and fight for fairness. And this is how it marks. Even it is in so-called detriment sign, can still work. It's just not expecting you take a big axe or big sword and go to fight. That's not the Mars in Libra's best way. And you can see, because although he has to fight for his people,
Yes,
he's a leader of his I say his country. Let me dare to say his country. But
yes,
he been exiled. He's exiled, or he decide to go to somewhere else, and he lead his people. But when he talk about China, he didn't talk about anger. You can see compare. I don't want to say compare. Everyone is different. Like Zelensky, if you ask him to talk about Russia and Putin, he will be because he has
yeah.
the. I think I remember he has Mars in Leo.
Mm,
But he was, oh, they are not right. I'm the justice. I'm the. But look at Dalai Lama when he talk about China. He said, we don't want to be enemy. It is
exactly.
okay. It is okay. You can do whatever you like. We just want to peaceful. You need to respect our religion and this and that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know which way to deal with Putin and Xi is the best way. But I don't know. I don't want to go that far. Anyway, but we can see the Mars, when they express their anger, they really express that Mars. And Dalai Lama have this Mars in detriment. But somehow, in the modern society, it looks like a more acceptable way to express your anger. And so I was just like, that is interesting. This is not about detriment, but this is like it's
I mean,
also
I
about
think it's
time.
important to bear it into account, because this means that archetypically we think that a right Mars is an aggressive Mars. So the person who has Mars in Libra probably feels they lack assertiveness and direction, and they
Definitely.
feel bad about it. But
Yeah.
it's not because they have a bad Mars, it's because they were taught that this Mars is not good.
Uh-huh.
So I
Yeah,
think
that
it's interesting to bear into account how the person is going to feel. How the person is
mm,
going to feel about my Mars, how I'm going to feel about my Venus. If you have
yeah,
Venus, let's say Venus in Aries, and you are more, you enjoy being more direct and being more
yeah,
um, openly passionate about the things you like.
sure.
Well, you were taught this is wrong. You were taught this
Mm,
is wrong. So it's interesting to think, okay, how is the person going to feel about their own Venus?
yeah, yeah. So this is how we deal with detriment planet. For us, I still believe there is no best or the worst or
Obviously.
the not good one. Every planet in every sign, they still have to fulfill. They still have
Yes,
to,
and then the chart is beautiful.
yeah, yeah. But when they are in the detriment side, well, I was thinking working in different way and working with that sign, use that sign's way to express this planet. It's the best. It's the best way. And just do what you have because, well, to be honest, I have how many planets? But now I can think I can count it. I will have at least 3 planets in detriment. My Sun,
Ah.
my Mercury, and my Jupiter. They are all in detriment. And that's why I say it's very interesting if if I really believe that I'm not good in that, I will just like, oh, I'm a failure. I'm not going to do anything. Well, I think I'm still trying to use it.
I'm thinking I don't think I have any planet in detriment.
Lucky you. Goodbye.
Yes.
Okay, thanks everyone for watching and listening to 10 Minutes Astrology. And today we talk about how the modern astrologer delineate about the planet, detriment, and the fall. But next week, I can't wait. We're going to talk about retrograde planet.
Yes.
Bye.